Welcome in, Cracked fans. We are live on the campus of Valparaiso University to celebrate the career of former men's tennis coach. The man joining me in the booth today, Jim Daugherty. Coach, welcome to our Cracked Interviews podcast. Thank you for having us here this weekend. Has to be a surreal weekend to get all of your former players in, this celebration. It has to be enjoyable.
It's unreal. I mean, I can't believe this is happening after 2 years in seclusion for all of us, really. And, I didn't think it was going to happen. And that would have been fine with me. I had a wonderful career here. Very happy in retirement and fulfilled in life. But, after the reception last night, it really hit me that, wow, there's a lot of love here, a lot of happy people. At least now, there wasn't always, smooth sailing. But, this is surreal. I mean, the numbers, the love, and great to see everyone having fun.
And I think something that our listeners may not know, and again, for those who don't know much about the Valparaiso program, you guys have switched conferences a couple of times, and unfortunately after the 2020 season, men's tennis was discontinued at the school moving forward. That said, talking to all of the guys here on site today, they talk about this alumni event not just being a one-off, that this was something you tried to do every year ahead of the program. Obviously, it seems pretty clear what the purpose would be, but why? Why bring back the alumni, and have you seen that decision, manifest itself in the relationships? To me, it seems like, yes, we have a very tight-knit program.
Well,
Only simple questions here for you, Coach.
Yeah, no, that's a no-brainer. It's my favorite weekend. I could talk about tournaments, matches. Alumni homecoming weekend is my favorite weekend, and that's because we bring back all the players. Some can make it some years, some other years, but it's just the most beautiful event that I could imagine. And I think that's why you see all the camaraderie out here. I just want them to have fun. If they get a chance and they want to celebrate with me or celebrate me, it's not about that, but we're all celebrating each other. And the cool thing, too, is a lot of them that didn't play with each other got to meet and are friends now, that didn't play together. And so seeing those connections and the fun they're having out here means the world. I just revel in it.
Do you think Schorsch could walk into college tennis right now and still go undefeated and not drop another set in Horizon League play or whatever it may be? I watched Jeff today, and I'm like, oh, my God, is he good?
Jeffrey will always have game. What can you say? If I were to come back and play, I don't think he'd beat me, but, I can talk.
Me too, Coach.
No. But and he's like, I'm surprised, Coach. I haven't played forever, but I came back and that inside-out forehand of his will never leave him. He owns that. It's patented. So, but he was always a team player. There's a lot of things about Jeffrey people don't know, and he reveled in the team atmosphere, even though he did remarkable things and set records and all that. He wouldn't have played if it wasn't a team setting. And I think, I hope that's what he said he enjoyed a lot about, maybe there's some, he talked about how bad of a decision it was for him to come here. I hope not, but anyway, he's a remarkable person and player.
No, it's been so fun to watch him. It's been so fun to get to chat with all of the guys. And, the word we routinely heard when speaking with them is the family culture you've created. That was the word over and over again. They said it's a competitive family, but that it is still a family first and foremost. And, again, we've sort of alluded to it, but you have guys from your first season, 1985 here. You have guys from your final season here this weekend as well. To see the generational commitment, again, what does that say about your program?
Well, I mean, I don't think I set out to make it a part of the program, to be honest. I mean, I just enjoy the connections with the players. So, that's selfish, I guess. I don't know. Call it whatever you want, but I had a lot of fun with them, and they know that. Some are probably laughing. Depends on what decade you came in on, and I don't know what other stories you heard. But
we'll get there. Don't worry. We'll get to this.
No, okay, all right. So, but we had a lot of fun with them, and why they enjoyed their experience here, I think it just had a lot to do with those connections again, and family. We felt like a family. I don't know if we really set out to make that the goal, but we wanted to make sure it was fun because, hey, retention is an important thing. Any coach should know that, If everything is so monotonous and unfun, and, is unfun a right word?
I was going to say the other word we got a lot of was fun. That was repeatedly. It was a family. It was fun. I was like, do you need a third F? Like, what are you guys looking for? Yeah, it was F of a good time, but that was what we heard repeatedly. And I think that's an ingredient you need to create family. Yeah. Now, there needs to be some loyalty to each other, and some had to learn that a little bit on the way because you got some, independent, kind of, I want to say selfish, but we're all growing up, and they learn to help support each other, and what a beautiful thing, when they learn that and are good teammates, support each other, and carry those kind of values where you can trust your teammate, which those are all the things you got to have. Yeah, right? I know, absolutely. And with that in mind, let's wind the clock back a little bit. 1985. I'm negative 10 years old. That'll make you feel very good. But look at again, you are fresh out of an all-conference career at Ball State. And I'm sure you're trying to figure out, what is Jim Daugherty going to do with his life? If I'd have told you in 1985, 35 years of coaching at Valparaiso, now you're also, of course, teaching here as well, but 35 years, does that number come as a shock to you?
Yeah. No, I really was. It was just a temporary job, I came in, and it was. I want to say it's tough at the beginning because I had some fun. I had some great guys back then, but the early guys were all in fraternities, and that's not a bad thing, but they knew how to party and party hard. So it was for me to jump into that situation. They broke me in pretty well. Yeah. So, but, we all made it work, and everything was easy after that. No. So going back in 85, I need to grow my hair out so I can think about this.
I say, were the courts still located? You can see them behind us. Some sit-day soon-to-be Jim Daugherty courts, but, I was going to say, where's the initial facility?
Well, the initial facility was right behind the football field. And it was so close to the football field, they used to kick field goals into the courts. And, I think it wasn't until my assistant got hit with the ball that, I don't know, and the players that we were like, okay, we know we're going to take a back seat here, but someone's got to put a net up behind those posts. But, and those courts, were, cracked and, so it wasn't on dirt, but,
no, it gets the job done, and I know for you, I was going to say, looking back, 1988 Conference Coach of the Year. 1999 Conference Coach of the Year. We're going to get to the 16-17 teams, 2016-2017, that obviously won conference titles as well. But was that 88 Conference Coach of the Year? Is that just because you got the guys out of the frat house onto the court? What goes into that? And, you're those first 5 years, because I feel like 5-year blocks is always a good way to look at it, right? Tell me about the development process. I'm fascinated.
It, wasn't about, not having, non-partiers
Yeah,
or
of
anything.
course, yeah.
I think that's an element of every college
Yeah,
kid, right? I mean, realistically. But we did go from near the bottom of the conference, and that I think it was '88. I mean, I don't know. The first year I got Coach of the Year, we finished third. So I was surprised. I was like, I'm really surprised. But all the coaches were like, we can't believe that you guys, we really advanced that year. And so that's kind of, we didn't win conferences, and that rarely happens that I know of, that you get named Coach of the Year when you're not winning conference. But it was nice that the other coaches recognized the amount of improvement we were making. And so that was a real tribute to the guys. They put the hard work in, and I was just along for the ride.
Yeah, no, this is where you might get mad at me. I have my first story, a little bit of dirt for you. I hear sometimes in those early days on the road, it was soup and salad Sundays, where it's, look, hey, come on, guys, we're trying to get, work on budget here. And, of course, look, it's a mid-major program, and I think that must have been the most challenging thing at first as well, just trying to acclimate to that environment. So coaches out there listening to this who will look and say, well, 35 years of Valparaiso, how do I try to replicate that success? Are those the sacrifices? Again, what are the little things that help you sustain during that time?
I mean, that wasn't a design sacrifice at all, obviously, because the things that a coach tries to hide from is the players. Yeah. And you don't want to say, we're on a shoestring budget here. But there becomes telltale signs of that. Yeah. They don't understand that, when I get back and I've gone over budget, I'm getting my ear chewed out or something. And so it was rough, but, the guys had to buy their own shoes and string their own racket. I mean, those are tough days, 4 to a hotel room. I mean,
exactly.
So did I want to do that? No, but there were times where I was the pressure of that was there, and thank God it got better.
I was going to say, clearly you did something right? As people kept coming, and then we get towards late '90s, early 2000s. I'm going to butcher their last names, but Nate and Nick, who set seemingly every record for the program at that time. Yeah. What was clicking? What allows you to take that jump? It felt like early 2000s to where now you're constantly competing for Horizon League titles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Nate, when you're combining doubles teams, you never know sometimes. You try different combinations and something clicks in, and you're like, good, we got them locked in, and then you're trying to lock in tumbler 2 and 3. But, part of it's luck, Nick was a state champ, I think, or up high, if I recall. Nate was a walk-on, and became conference player of the year. So, I didn't, he got better, but he was just a natural athlete. So I lucked out with him. So, I mean, there's some luck that comes in play, and there's some. I think going back to the connections and the camaraderie, all that has to take place in order for the team to want to work hard and enjoy the whole experience. Without that, you don't win championships. So, and it makes it a little easier to recruit when you're doing better.
Sure.
No one wants to join a losing program unless you can convince them that it's going to get better.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about that. And I'm curious for you because, again, whether it's negotiating the budget, whether it's getting recruiting to where you want it to be, when would you say, you don't have to give me a specific season, but how long did it take you to find your footing? It does feel like college tennis is a space where, again, whether it's recruiting your guys or just finding out what it takes to be a coach day in, day out, it sometimes does take a little bit longer. Did it take you a little longer, take you a little shorter? When did you feel like you finally had control and command of the Valpo program?
Yeah. Well, I don't think I definitely did not at the beginning. I mean, as a USPTA certified professional, I knew technique, but navigating through team stuff and group huddles and that, I was really nervous at times. You lose a close doubles point, you bring everyone together, and you're trying to tell them that the ship hasn't gone down. We're going to win this when you're pissed because we blew that.
Exactly.
But
No, that's exactly what I was looking for, because it does take time for any coach to just feel like they have command of that huddle. And to just say...
So, it evolved over time. But now, this is going to be a strange answer that nobody will ever know.
Okay.
So they needed someone to teach coaching theory.
Okay.
And I'll try it, So I'm like learning it as I go along, and I'm like, I don't do this. I don't do that. So I'm like trying this, trying that, building team camaraderie. You're not supposed to say this, you're supposed to say that. I'm like, oh, gosh. So that helped me evolve, too, and learn a lot from the players, too. I mean, feedback. But I think, as I got teaching and combining, but again, textbook isn't going to teach you everything.
Sure.
Sometimes it doesn't work that way, obviously, but you keep trying different things. But, I don't know. I wasn't always good at everything. When certain assistant coaches came in, they brought their strengths that really vaulted our program to different levels. So it wasn't just Coach Daugherty. It was assistants who could bring in some of the strengths that I don't have.
Except for Woodson, of course. Except for Mike. No, exactly.
Yeah.
But
I think he's an old.
I
don't know what kind of program he got into.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm curious though, because obviously yourself and you see Coach Woodson come from there. You can date back Coaches Boland and Bresky. They came from mid-major schools as well. What is it about mid-major tennis? It does feel like those who play mid-major tennis, I'm curious if you've seen this as well, have a passion for it. Because when you're playing a Division I sport, a high level, you can make the case to anyone, go play tennis at Duke, right? Not a tough sell job.
Yeah.
To get a player to commit to their 4 years through in Valpo, sometimes 5 as well, it does feel like that reflects the passion, right? I do think there's a passion to mid-major college tennis that you just don't see at other conferences or levels.
Yeah. You make a great point. I do see that pattern too, and I've never thought about that. But my thought is, in the mid-major, the players are going to be maybe a little rough around the edges and haven't fully developed and not burnt out yet. Yeah. Where at the higher levels, they've had a ton of tennis, and that they're just, the pressures are bigger. But at this mid-major level, you got hungry people who want to improve, and there's a lot more improvement and development that takes place. So, I think, that's enjoyable as a coach. There's nothing worse than being on a court with someone who isn't trying or doesn't care. Or, I don't encounter running across that. So, it made me love my job, love the game.
And if you don't mind me saying, I think I've seen that enthusiasm trickle down to your former players. It's why they're so excited to be. It has nothing to do with you, but exactly. No, now I do. Again, we've got a ceremony for you coming up, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time. But I do want to run through some highlights because I went through the record books. I feel pretty well equipped to talk Valpo tennis with you here, and I can't not do it before we let you go. That 98, 99, 2000, is that when you felt like program really started to hit its stride? Nick, Nate, the results start to pick up as well? That was really where it was like, we are here.
Yeah, and all the signs were there because it wasn't just matches, it were tournaments. These guys were breaking through and beating some of the big programs and really, breaking through in different ways. And I could see the confidence growing in them as they went along. So, I see people filing in here. I'm starting to get distracted.
No, me too as well. They're here for you. Exactly. So I got to...
during those period of time, and that's what led up to the first championship in 2002, and we were just teetering on that during those years. So we were always hovering at the top, 1, 2, or 3, and then finally broke through 2002. And as you know, success, breeds success, and we got on that. And you want to hold on and not let it go. So we were able to recruit and develop players and good people.
Absolutely. Again, last two questions for you. 16, 17, you go back to back. When did you know that group was special? Because I know they were a young group. I know a lot of them came in together.
Yeah, well, they were, you're looking at 4 or 5 star recruits. So,
yeah.
You knew, Woodson. I'm like, I don't know. Michael, I don't know if we can. Oh, yeah, we're getting right in there with him. We're talking about Big Ten, and the Big East and all those guys. No, Coach, we're getting right in there. So he gets a lot of credit for changing the mindset for that. I think we were like, okay, let's give it a try, and we helped refine our mission for our program and things that we want to accomplish, and we started individuals as well as team practices, and so we didn't lie about it either. We produced, and so as we sold the program more, became more organized, and again, good help, really good help, really made the difference. So we brought in some good players, but it's kind of like you bring in one good player, and all of a sudden, everyone's like, you got so-and-so?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm aboard.
Absolutely.
And they all want to be a part of a winning program.
And with that in mind, my final question for you, the most important question I'll ask all day, you get to replay one. Charlie and Jeff in that quarterfinal of NCAAs or Northwestern first-round match. You guys dropped that match 4-1 2016. I feel like you guys could have won that. I feel like you play that match 10 times, you guys win it at least twice. Like that's one I circle. Which do you pick? Or is there another match from your tenure?
Wow.
Yeah. Serious questions
you
here
have
at the
done
end.
your homework.
Yeah.
Those are the things that Coach will reel about a little bit. But, we were much more – we were in that match with Northwestern, and, there was a tight match.
Yeah.
And we thought if we could swing – I won't give any names.
Jeffrey.
No, if we can swing this one match, because the other guys were coming back in the second set. So it was exciting, and we were like, and Northwestern, when you're favored to win, you're feeling more of the pressure.
That is Zaba, Shropshire, Kirkheim. That was a really good team,
very,
too.
Very good team. And so I was really proud. The guys, really proud of the guys, and we were just hoping we could swing that, and they fought really hard, and I don't feel like it's one that got away from us. And kind of like the quarterfinal match, they usually came down to this high break at the very end, 11-9 in the third, but they won their share of those too.
Exactly.
And when they went to the finals of the indoor nationals, they had match points against them, and those guys, unbelievable. Would just turn it up a notch, So they're extremely confident, and I'm so proud of them and all the players, really. They always had that great attitude, work ethic.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And again, something we are really proud of is to be associated with this coach, because sincerely, not enough is made about the commitment from people like you who offer, again, a program like Valparaiso. It's not going to win every headline, but there are countless players all here this weekend who clearly thoroughly enjoyed their time and will always remember their college tennis experience, and a lot of that has to do with you. So thank you so much for having us here this weekend.
Thank you, Alex. It's wonderful that you take the time to come here and promote college tennis. It's, really needed, and it's a great sport. I hope, that we can get, the momentum improving in that area there. And so it's been a great experience, and I know I appreciate you being in the wings with all of us.
It is our pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Jim Daugherty.